Hello everyone, and welcome to Interlude 2 of my Call of the Armor 0% Growth slow turn count playthrough. Before we get started on the main event today, I figured I would do a little bit of housekeeping. In the introductory video of this playthrough, I said that if a unit was particularly relevant to this run and they had very wonky or lopsided stats, I would show them off. And I would say Vivek fits that description. Vivek is going to be one of the most, probably the most important unit going forward now. And these are his stats. You can see he's got really good magic, absurdly good magic. But besides accuracy and HP, the rest of his stats are garbage. And those are his weapon ranks. He'll be hitting rescue soon. And he has S Anima. So while he has a lot of rescue range, and if he ever attacks someone with a spell, like say bolting, it's going to sting a lot. He's very frail. If an enemy has like 9 speed and like 20 attack, they'll just one round him, which creates a lot of interesting scenarios where I need to be aggressive with him while also keeping him safe. And that's going to form the playthrough moving forward. One last bit of housekeeping before we move on is in Chapter 11, I forgot to describe what the wife ring does. And here you can see it. It gives you +2 skill and luck when you hold it. I'm pretty much always just going to give this to my boss killer because of the hit and crit. But I forgot to do it in Chapter 11. Oops. But that's enough of that. Let's get to what you're really here for, which is the unit selection. Once again, in Interlude 2, I have 5 units here, and I need to pick between 2 of them. Goo and Drowan, you're familiar with already. I recruited them last map. They don't do anything in this run. But people who might do things in this run include Shrikandi. She kind of sticks out among the bunch as she's the only promoted unit. A ranger with these stats. And she has a personal bow, but it's not super special. I would describe her as kind of an all-arounder type unit. One very disappointing thing about her is the fact that she only has 7 movement. So if I wanted to do kind of rescue-based movement tech, I would prefer someone with 8 move like Kim, or someone with 7 move and flight like Noki. But she has this nice combination of movement and combat. 14 speed is higher than pretty much everyone except for like Lily and Uyama, and 11 strength is a pretty nice bit to back it up. Another thing Shrikandi has going for her is that the upcoming map, Chapter 12, is very friendly to bow users. It's a route map, and there are lots of enemy bow users and lots of wyverns, so having an archer there might be a really good thing. But as for her downsides, it's mostly that these other units around her might have stronger upsides, and I can compensate for their weaknesses with better strategy. So for a decent all-around pick with some nice utility in the next map, I might pick Shrikandi. The total opposite of the all-arounder Shrikandi is, of course, Bloody Jeb. He's a very silly unit. Brigand with these stats and these weapons. Obviously, he's a lot less mobile for Shrikandi, or mobile. He has 5 movement. But why I might choose him is because the bosses in this game are going to start getting very inflated. And characters like Sunwing really aren't going to be capable of killing them past this point. I'm going to need to enlist foot units with good combat. And Jeb is a foot unit with combat. I don't know. Like, I can promote him to Berserker immediately, and he'll get a nice bump in skill and 15 crit. And I can give him like the Devil Axe or something, and he'll have a really strong crit to back up his pretty alright speed, actually. But his downsides are pretty obvious. He has no bulk, and his hit is also pretty low. So I would need to do a lot of rigging, and, you know, if I can get away with a different boss killer, then I probably am going to do that. Although, even if I wanted a different boss killer, like say Shale or whatever, Shale can't normally crit, but with the Killer Axe Bloody Jeb comes with, that's no longer a problem. The Killer Axe is a really rare weapon in this game. There are only like 2 you can obtain, and that's one of them. So if I need a lot of boss killing power to back up my mobility, then maybe I'll pick Bloody Jeb. Next up is Liam. Liam is probably the underdog of this set. 5 movement, just like Jeb, and you can see he specializes a lot in defense, and that's his main draw. He has this armored bow, which is personal, has 1 to 2 range, and gives him 4 defense and 10 res. So that's pretty nice, especially because in Chapter 12, again, very friendly to archers. Probably a little more friendly if you have 1 range as well. But the drawbacks are pretty clear if you notice that weight stat. That means Liam has an effective 3 speed right now, which is worse than Vivek. And, you know, if you've played these games, you know that defense is kind of undermined when the enemy doubles you. So, you know, he can't kill bosses like Jeb, and he doesn't have the mobility of Shrikandi, but if you believe in this underdog, if you think the 1 to 2 armored bow is that big, if you believe this shitty archer can save a turn, this is who you're going to pick. And unlike the optimistic person who might pick Liam, the pessimist would probably pick Arkel. Arkel, his stats don't matter one bit. What matters is his inventory. He has a Killer Lance, which is pretty nice, and a Master Seal, which you might be saying to yourself, low res, you just bought 3 Master Seals in Chapter 10. Why would you need a 4th one? But that's not important. What's important is none of these losers are worth my time. Like, you've seen all of them. And frankly, I could bench all of them and be fine, is what Arkel is saying. What I want from this is money. And I want the best inventory that I can get, because you really think I'm going to field frickin' Liam or Jeb? No. If you're a pessimist and you don't think any of these 4 are worth choosing, then you should choose Arkel. Finally, member number 5 is Flint. Flint is an unpromoted healer. He has the heal staff and the barrier staff, and starts at A rank staves with these stats. You might remember that I bought 2 warp and 3 rescue. No, 2 warp and 8 rescue. And right now I don't have a single warp or rescue user. And even Vivek is very far away from reaching warp rank. So Flint would give me an immediate boost to mobility for, frankly, any unit. A mount, a boss killer, you name it, warp can get them there. The main downsides of Flint are that his magic of 8 is not going to really improve much, obviously. So Vivek has a much larger staff range than Flint does. But the main downside of Flint is it's so obvious I'm going to pick him that I'm just going to do it now. And now, you need to decide which one of these 4 I'm going to pick between. So please, take a moment to yourself and think about the options and come to your decision. That's right. That's right. Oh, it's the shitty archer. Ooh, I'm recruiting the shitty archer. Liam's gonna save a turn. Yes! Head out, my boy. Oh, please. Chapter 12 is gonna be a real doozy. Thank you for watching.